2 years ago, I thought it was going to be 2 videos in, and then there'd be a bunch of people telling me, shut up, you're an old white guy from Canada, who cares what you think? The channel never would have existed without the owls. What the hell do I say? Take a week off, it goes to shit. After the Owls show, Leaf Dog threw his arm around me and said, I did that for you. If they don't find those masks before I go home, they'll be thinking that I'm the one that stole the masks or something. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see, I'm somewhere different today. You may recognize it. It's the 521 Studios. I'm here with Blade. 2 years ago when I started my channel, the last thing I thought even remotely began to think about was jumping across the Atlantic on a plane to meet a bunch of people. But here I am, man. It seems surreal. And the people that I've met, the places that I've seen, it just made me love the music even more and love the people even more, because it's so remarkable, the genuine authenticness that I get from every single person that I've met. And it's, if there's ever a time where I thought maybe I'll stop doing this, which hasn't entered my mind, by the way, but if it ever entered my mind, meeting these people I'll go to the ends of the earth to continue doing this. I can't imagine stopping. And then to get invited here, I mean, how can you say no when Blade asked you to come to sit on the couch, right?
You know what? First of all, I have to say thank you very much for coming over. Not just here, but to the UK, because I don't think you realize what you're doing for the people that really need the assistance, the acknowledgement, the recognition that they're not getting anywhere else. So, I'm sure me sitting here, I applaud you with all the thousands of people that you are helping. Thanks a lot for being here, bro. I'm usually in that seat, but I just felt this was such a special occasion that I had to take the seat away and, exchange places, because I think this guy deserves it. And the reason why I think this guy deserves it is because he's not even from the UK, but he gives so much love to the UK for what they do. He's genuinely really, really passionate about the UK hip-hop scene. You know what I mean? And I don't even want to show my head, but I have to. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Hats off. Bro, thanks, thank you very much for everything you're doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Do you want to tell us why you're here?
It's kind of funny, because I always kind of thought that after I started the channel, I kind of thought like I'd get here eventually. And then obviously I started when COVID happened. And for the past 2 years, it kind of felt at a time you would never get back to normal, right? It was like it was never going to be international travel again. It was like, that's kind of what it felt like for a while. And then I saw the Four Owls. They put up their UK tour, or their UK tour. And I wrote my buddy Jake, 36 Chambers, on my YouTube channel. I wrote him and I said, did you notice that the Owls were coming to Manchester? And he wasn't responding to me yet, because he's working, right? And I said, screw it. I went upstairs and I said to Vanessa, it's like, what would you think if I told you I wanted to go to the UK to see the Owls? And she said, I think that would be absolutely terrific. So I grabbed my credit card, went downstairs, and I booked the flight. And then I sent him a screenshot. I said, hey man, I'm coming to your house to see the Owls. I didn't give him a chance to say no, but man, it's he's been instrumental too, like in the channel. He's kept me at the very beginning, when everyone was flooding me with names of different artists that they were on the grime scene, which, taking nothing away from those guys, but it's I prefer the underground boom bap stuff. And he said to me, like, he could tell 3 videos in, he could tell what I would like and what I wouldn't. So he just said, stay your course, man. You're in the right lane. So I stayed there, and like every video, I fell deeper and deeper in love with it, man. So, and it felt like it's going to be forever when I booked that flight. It didn't feel like it was ever going to come. And then like a week out, everyone was saying, you must be getting so excited. And I was like, you know what? These days, anything can happen. So until my feet are on the ground in Manchester, I'm not going to be excited, right? And then I got here and everything. When I met the Owls, I got to tell you, I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed with UK hip hop is the love of the music, right? I walk into the venue, and Jazz T is warming up, and Verb T is doing sound check, and the smile on Jazz T's face, man, ear to ear, and he didn't like. It's not because he saw me. It's just because he's just back there DJing, and it's just the love. You see the love of the music, right? And then I get back there, hang out with Verb T for a while. You know Verb T, cool dude, man. And then same, hung out with Jazz as well. Flip Tricks and yeah, I think Flip Tricks and Verb T and Jazz left for some food, and then Leaf and BVA showed up. And I mean, Leaf was the cat that I fell in love with immediately the second that I heard him. Like, Leaf is my boy, and I kind of thought, okay, you know, he seems like a quiet cat, so I would get like a hello and whatever. The dude, man, like, I gotta tell you, that cat was just like amazing. Never stopped talking to me for like 2 hours straight. And BVA is a super nice guy. I never stopped. Like, the guy, both of them just full of energy and talking, made me feel at home. Gave me a shout out during the show, which stopping the show to give a shout out. I mean, that made the trip right there. And it just got better from that point. So
I think that kind of sums up what people think of you, really. You know, like when I was talking to people and I was talking about, okay, I'm going to try and make it to this show or that show, but I'm mad busy and whatever. And all of a sudden I'm getting people calling me up and going, yo, I'm hooking up with CDR for a drink. I'm hooking up with him for a dinner. Yo, you should come down and hang out tonight with us, man. It's like CDR is going to be there. And it's from every angle, you know, like what you've done has kind of set something off.
yeah, I mean, I think last time I checked, I'm about 650 videos waiting for reactions, and I get anywhere from 10 to 15 cents a day. That's including from the artist directly, and as well as people asking me to do stuff. But as I used to get like all worried about it and feel like I had to do them in the order that I got them, and I did everything. At the beginning, I was doing everything in my power to make sure I pleased everybody, right? But now I just tell them, like, I got 600. There's no order, so I may wake up and say, today I'm going to do video A, and then I see, you know, a new ill-informed Wishmaster track drop, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do that. I'm a fan. That's where number one comes from. Like, I'm a fan, and because I'm a fan, I'm doing it for me, and I love it that I've seen it in the comments and stuff where people will be fans of these artists, and they'll drop a video, and then the very first thing they'll say is, I can't wait to see, you know, CDR's face when he hears Jam's new verse or whatever, right? And I mean, I actually got in the biggest city in London or in UK. I'm walking through the train station in London, and someone recognized me. Like, to me, that's insane. To me, right? Like, I can't even fathom that. It doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot more of that to come. There's a lot more. And I think what's going to happen is going to transcend into people that aren't even into hip-hop recognizing you. Your reactions are entertaining. They're funny. I mean, like, what I like is, you know, when you're listening to something, and I'll try and do, I'm not very good at doing impersonations, but I'll try and do an impersonation.
Oh, God.
So my man will be doing something. This is an example, okay? So, bottle of water, whatever, and there'll be a video, and he's reacting, and he's listening, and then a bar kind of kicks in, and he goes, I nearly spat up my drink. Oh my God, what a bar. Oh my, you know what I mean? I can't, anyway. Your reactions are entertaining. They're funny. People can interact with them, and it's engaging, you know. But yeah, don't be surprised if, like I said, more and more people like start recognizing you, and you know, big people, not just like the underground hip hop scene. And I think you're going to see that constantly as well. Is there any more events you're going to?
I'm actually meeting up with a bunch of guys tonight down at the chip shop, trying to get Phoenix out. Sci Philly, BX, CFAX, Converse, Mixed Swagger, and Cosm are coming up.
People that are on their doorstep and they don't want to link up, but someone comes over from Canada and everyone's like, look, let's just go, let's just go. It's mad. Wow. It's beautiful to see, though.
And it was nice, too, because my days are getting messed up now because, as you can imagine, right, I'm doing so much stuff. But yesterday we're in Manchester and bumped into a guy one of my subscribers had been contacting me for a couple of days, like, we got to get together. And I said to him, well, we're just about to leave Manchester. And he says, well, I have to take you to the suspension bridge. So he took us up there and showed us the sights and got me a Cornish pasty. And took us to a couple spots and showed us some graffiti and stuff. And he made a T-shirt for me. Actually, I should have worn it today. I wasn't thinking. But Wishmaster gave me this one. But he made me a shirt because during one of the latest videos, Smellington Piff says, "I'm more unusual than usual, yo." And I said, I need that on a T-shirt. Dude made a T-shirt for me, got it on a T-shirt, right? So that was just cool, man. And then I got to hang out with the Split Profits guys. And
so did you see Rez as well?
Saw Rez, yeah.
I
I connected with Rez, and I kind of thought, like, again, expectations when I came here is like, people have lives, right? People work, people have families. So I didn't want to give myself too much expectation because it's this, I look up to all these guys and they're all my favorite artists, right? Every one of them. So I was hoping I'd get here and maybe shake a hand and spend 10 minutes, have a coffee, if that. And Rez picks me up, takes me to Dean Lane, brings his kid along. Leon, cute little guy. We go to Dean Lane and I get to see where a whole bunch of videos were shot at Dean Lane, but probably my favorite video I've done is the Mo. Which was shot there, and it was just so cool to see because that's where Split Profits started. They started from skating at the park and then became a crew. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe get an hour, and we'll be done. Next thing I know, go back to his house,
and they've asked you to move in.
We show up at their house, and then in comes up front. He comes to visit. Then Daddy comes by, Wishmaster, Billy Wiz, right? And it just I couldn't believe it. And the next thing you know, it's 10:30 at night. And, his Mrs. Helen, she was a wonderful, wonderful host, made us dinner. Rez made some music, or played some music for us that had never been heard. And then just as I was leaving, ill-informed, said, hey, is Canadian Dad there? I'll come by. And we had already called the Uber, but it was and in my mind, ill-informed is just he's the Don.
Let's just take it back a little bit.
All right.
So you're in Canada now, right? A little bit north of Toronto, right? And you now know you're on your way to the airport. Just talk us through that journey, like going from home to the airport. What's going through your mind? And then being on that airplane and then landing in Manchester. And just talk us through that journey a little bit.
Even sitting here doesn't feel real. It feels surreal. Everything about it, right? So as I'm driving to the airport, it's just I'm kind of course, I'm listening
to Ill-Informed.
Because it's the Whack-Mo. I was listening to Whack-Mo album. I've had that on repeat for a couple of weeks now, but I'm listening to Whack-Mo and just driving there, just thinking okay, I'm about to get on a plane. I've never gone to the UK. I've never gone anywhere in Europe. So I'm okay, I'm about to get on a plane and fly across the Atlantic to meet someone like my buddy Jake, who I've only talked to in person or on the phone and on text and stuff. So I'm going to meet this guy, and we're just going to start this journey, man. We're just going to, and the whole time it's just it's kind of I think. It's so outside my comfort zone as well to do that. Starting the channel itself was outside my comfort zone. So then it became, taking time off work taking this trip by myself, kind of being like, I could have done all this to find out that everybody was standoffish and nobody, like everyone I tried to meet, I can't do it today. They could have all blown me off, and then I'd be like, well, that's shitty, right? But not that I believe that that was going to happen, because the people that I've talked to have been terrific. But like it's just surreal until I actually got off the plane in Manchester and took a cab. I found out the hard way too, because I don't know the American or the Canadian to pound exchange very well.
Can I say something there? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think you'd be surprised that if you were in a situation where that became a problem, I know there would be a lot of people that if you were to call them up and go, bro, I'm stranded, I'm short of £100 or whatever, and I need to do you know what I mean? I can't get back to the airport, whatever. I think you won't have a problem with people jumping in to help. I know I would. Yeah. Like I would jump in. So I'm saying, like, if you're ever in the UK and you're stranded, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call some of these people you're meeting, because like these guys have a genuine respect and love for you.
I felt it. I really did feel
it.
Yeah.
Even when we organized to do this, so I said to my cameraman, bro, I don't care what you're doing, cancel it. We're doing this. Whatever you're doing, cancel it. Because he had a photo shoot that lined up today as well. And we were like, nope, this is the priority. This is what we're doing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, how often are you going to get the opportunities? You know what I mean? And I know we've already done an interview, but it's different. You're here. You know what I mean? It's like, it's in person. It's a whole different vibe.
It is, yeah.
You know? So.
And I'm actually looking forward to getting down in front of the camera for the first time, because knowing, like, having met these guys and everything, I think I'll have even more of appreciation for the music and what they do now that I've seen them and met them in person.
Plus, I think because you're seeing how they're living as well. Like, maybe it's just a glimpse of it, but you're seeing that the music is coming from the heart. It is genuine. Yeah. Everything they go through, you know, where's, you know, like entertainment, it can be anything. Like, you know, like there are certain artists out there who don't live a gangster life, but will talk a gangster life. Right. There are certain artists who don't have a car, but they'll talk about how many mansions and cars they've got and what. Do you get what I'm saying? But with UK hip hop, it is what it is. And how does it feel to know that you've now caught a glimpse of everything that you've been listening to?
It makes me appreciate, and it also makes me see that I grew up in a very similar area. Like I grew up doing the same things, and I see, you know, I having talked to Rez before I left, he's talking about, like, if we can hook up before 11 o'clock before I go to work, right? I mean, these guys, and we talked up front about, you know, him doing his carpentry and all that kind of stuff when we're sitting down, right? Like, these guys are real people that do this. Like, we met with Sean Pang before on our way out. He invited us over to his house. We sat down and had a cup of tea with him and just talked before we're on our way out.
How's the experience of having an English tea?
It's great. Yeah, I actually bought a box to bring home to me because, it's a little bit better than the Canadian tea. But I always felt like there was a connection. Like I had that connection, but now I feel the kinship now, even more than I did before. Like even after the Owl show, Leaf Dog threw his arm around me and said, "I did that for you." I mean, come on, right? Like.
2 years ago, would you have thought that?
Man, 2 years ago, I thought it was going to be 2 videos in, and then there'd be a bunch of people telling me, you know, shut up, you're an old white guy from Canada. Who cares what you think about our music, right? And then all it was like more people showing love, like happy that the music that they love was actually being loved by somebody else, right? And that's kind of what Wish was saying, was like, it just means so much to him that, and actually Sean was saying it too, is like, it just means so much to him to know that there are people who are hearing, because you always wonder, you put a song out and wonder, okay, people are going to hear this, or people are going to listen. And it means so much knowing that somebody is actually taking the time and listening and hearing it, rather than just putting it on in their car and bobbing their head to it and something to listen to when they're on the train. It's actually getting out of the art what was put into the art. I think is what they appreciate, I think, more than anything.
What you just said there reminded me of something that I've said many, many years ago, and I say to this day. Like, you know, when I was ready to give up on everything, I had thousands of fans that were constantly giving me the appraisal and whatever. And I literally mean thousands at shows, you know, on the streets, walking down the street in my neighborhood, people constantly. But what I realized is it doesn't matter. It could be 100,000 people. But if they're not buying your records and if they're, you know, all the support that they give you is all well and good. But the important thing is meeting that one person that can put you on a platform of some sort that can elevate you to other extremes and levels, right? And this is what I'm saying. So when we met the right A&R person or the right manager or the right producer or the right whatever, things elevated. So it's that one person that makes a difference, right? So all these artists may be getting 2,000, 3,000 views on their channel, or if they pay for promotion, 10,000 or whatever. But I don't think any of that, this is my personal opinion, I don't think any of that is as important as you to them. You know, I think like it doesn't matter if you're getting 100 views, 200 views, 300 views. It's the sentiment, and it's also like everyone believes in you. Everyone like believes that what you're doing is gonna elevate to another level. And you will wake up one morning and just realize, fuck me, where did all these followers come from? Fuck me, how come I got 40,000 views on this video now? It was only on 200 views yesterday. Right. And that day can come. It can come. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying it can happen. And I think that's going to pretty much make it obvious about the importance of one person instead of 1,000. You see what I'm saying?
And I would love that day for the guys and the ladies that I do. Like I would love it that, because that's what, when I do a video and I think it's a great song and, you know, it gets 300 views, I just wish it was 100 times that, because I want more people to hear about them. I don't care about me. I mean, right? I want it for them more than anything.
When you talk about the views, you just clarified that it's about the artist. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Explain why.
I do my channel for the same reason I mean, I look at like No Life Shaq, for example, who quit his job and has a car collection and, you know, buys his mom a house and stuff like that. Sure, who wouldn't want that? I mean, that'd be terrific, but I don't do it. I don't do it for my views. I don't do it for the happiest it makes me are the comments where it's like, I've never heard of this artist before. I got to check out more of their stuff. When I did Sutter's on my We Got Next, he said he got a bunch new subscribers on his channel. A lot of people reaching out to him saying like, I found you, or I saw you on CDR. So I mean, that's what I want. Like, I mean, even on my videos, I can monetize my videos, but I don't do that because I'm not doing it to make any money. I'm doing it for these guys, right? And that's like, and I know like that's what Sean was saying yesterday too. It's like, yeah, you make a record, you put it out, maybe you break even, maybe you make a couple bucks, enough to make your next record. You know, when someone's doing that, they're doing it for love, and that's why I always end my videos. Or I try to do it when I remember, but it's like, make sure you support these guys because they do it for us as much as they do it for them, right? Do it anyway. It doesn't have to cost you anything. You can stream it, you can buy it, you can watch their YouTube video, watch it 100 times, whatever it is that you have to do. But when you're not getting a whole lot back, other than knowing that people are enjoying your music, you're doing it for love. You're not doing it for your bank account at that point.
So imagine one of these artists is standing on stage and they're not even getting a crowd reaction or whatever. How would you perceive that? I mean, do you think what they're doing is not working, or they've just had a bad day? They need to consider giving up if the crowd has stopped responding, or should they just carry on?
I've done some throwback videos, for example, where I think this is going to, get me a whole bunch of new subscribers, get more eyeballs on the channel, and then I'll get 100 views on it. I just don't. Maybe it's a bad day. If I gave up every time I had a crappy comment, they're not many, but I get them occasionally, saying that, what a lot of them were quite mean, and they bothered me at first, but then
It depends on your breaking point, innit?
Yeah.
If your breaking point is like, if there's a 100-meter line there and your breaking point is at 0.5 meters, you're fucked, innit? Like, how far are you prepared to go?
If I gave up every time I had a crappy comment, they're not many, but I get them occasionally, saying that, what a lot of them were quite mean. Some of them were stupid, like you talk too much with your hands. So for like 3 videos, like I was afraid to move my hands. I put my hands between my legs and like squeeze them together. People saying like this things that will stick in your head. And if you allow other people to live in your head rent free, man, like it can just kill you. So it's like maybe you're unlucky. You're in front of a bunch of people who prefer a different type of music, and they just ain't feeling you, right? It has nothing to do with you. I tell my daughters all the time, when people say things or act negatively towards you, it says more about them than it does about you.
There's always going to be people that's bitter or twisted or want to say negative things or whatever. You just need to ignore them, innit?
I have to remember. Big shout out to Sparkz. He showed up to Pitch 92. Made sure he came in as well at the Alice show. So apparently Jest was outside. So that's what I heard. I would have been amazing to meet him too. I was hoping to meet Kashmir when I came down here. I've talked to him a few times and stuff. He's a cool cat. I want to get back to what you were saying there about the finish line thing, because it reminds me when we were chatting with Leaf. He was talking about he'd been messaging Cool G Rap for, I think he said, like 4 years, like every day, constantly, and finally, like Cool G Rap's like, all right, let me listen to what you have. And now he's got Cool G Rap on a track, right? And we were just talking about like there's so many people who would have done it once and got it, and it didn't get a response, and it's like, well, fuck that guy, and move on. And that's why Leaf is doing what he's doing, and other people give up.
That just kind of sums it up nicely, innit?
Yeah.
Don't give up. Just don't give up.
That's the main thing. And my daughter wants to do, I always get it wrong, but it's ASMR. I think that's what it's called. It's that thing on YouTube where they whisper into the microphone or they comb a dog, or it's weird. People will eat and they put it on the mic. It's strange. It's huge, man. People make tons and tons of money off it. It's crazy. But she started a channel and it didn't blow up. So she stopped. And she said, I want to do it again. And I'm like, then just do it. When I did this YouTube channel, I walked up and asked my girls, hey, kind of as a joke, like, hey, should I start a YouTube channel? And they're like, yeah, do a reaction channel. And they wanted me to do American hip hop. And I'm like, oh, I mean, you can go on and type in any big artist, and there's 50 people or more doing reactions.
What does that say to you about, just the world in general? That you see so many people jumping on one thing, but yet there's no support for the other things.
We live in the type of society, especially these days, where it's it's driven almost solely by social media, and people are just like it's sheep, right? Like they're told, whether it's TikTok or whatever, they're told who's in the commercials, top 40. Like my partner Vanessa has the radio on for her clients that come in, and if I happen to be working upstairs, it's like they play the same, right? They repeat the same songs over and over and over again, and I just feels like people are told what to like, what looks cool, what cars to drive, and they just fall into line, right? And a lot of people refuse to take a chance. Like Jake was telling me when we were driving up, is like he's had so many buddies who, if you show them, like, man, you got to hear this track, they're like, there's no interest. It's almost like if I don't find them, I don't want to hear them.
Being in the industry for as long as I've been, I've seen so many things, and it's now called farming, and I'm sure you know what that is. Yeah. So people are farming the views. They go to these companies where they've got like 500 computers set up and they're just knocking up the views and whatever. And that's happening, but that's been happening in the industry before the social media came along. Record companies were doing the same. They were paying backhanders to radio stations to keep pushing certain artists and certain tracks. And then there was exchanges like, I'll do it if I get an exclusive interview or I get the first interview. It's always been there, bro. It's always been there. And this is, ask yourself, why is every radio station, pretty much every DJ playing the same records? It's not coincidence, bro.
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes I'll go on YouTube and I show my girls and stuff because it just bugs me when I'll play songs from my UK hip hop songs for my girls. They don't catch all the words, but there's times where they'll actually make them cry, right? And then it'll have 600 views. And then I'll call up like a Playboy Cardi track, which is
500 million views.
Yeah. And I can only get 30 seconds in, I got to shut it down, right? And to me, that's, I've said it a couple times before where it's, I would never go outside of this. Like, I don't think I ever would. If something was to happen and I couldn't do the channel, or UK hip hop turns on me for whatever reason. It's funny because I don't know if I should be telling the story, but they got the masks back, so that's fine. But they misplaced the masks at the Manchester show after the Owl show. They misplaced the masks, and I said to Jacob, like, if they don't find those masks before I go home, they'll be thinking that I'm the one that stole the masks or something. But they found them. They got them back. But it's popped in my mind before to thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to start a second channel. I'm not going to do that. I might start a second channel and do some underground American and Canadian.
But how are you going to find the time? You got 650 backlog.
That's why I won't. Like until it gets to the point where I'm at a stage in my life, maybe the channel takes off and I start making enough money that this is what I do.
But even then, I don't think you're going to have enough time, bro.
And that's why I say that, is like, it's just, I would never turn my back on the 600 people who are waiting to do another, like, open another door. I'll never open that other door until everyone's taken care of. Since I've been here, my subscribers have gone up. My Instagram, people who follow me on Instagram, that jumped up. Like, all it takes is like an artist to post something on their Instagram, and then people who don't know about me now know about me, right? And a lot of them are artists who are then like, oh, I didn't know this is going on, and now they're sending me stuff. The more the merrier. I let them know now. Like, before I was worried about saying it. Now I just say, like, I appreciate it. I'm not promising you anything. I have people that try to pay me to do it because they don't want to wait. But I'm not here to make money off that, and I'm not going to do that to anybody else. That's the thing. If someone pays me money to do a reaction and I hate the music,
yeah, that's not real.
Right. I'm not going to pretend, right? And there have been artists who I really like who put out a track and I didn't dig it, so I didn't post a reaction. Not everyone. I'm not going to like every single song all the time, right? But so now when I do my videos, I just blindly pick one. It's just random, man. So you could have given me yours yesterday, and you just happened to be the one that I blindly picked. And good on you.
Let's ask an honest question and get an honest answer.
I'll try.
How often do you randomly pick Ill-Informed?
Well, let's be honest. Ill-Informed's probably produced 550 of those tracks. The guy does more. I can't remember the number, what it was, whether it was 4,000 or 40,000, but I've heard he's got that, like, I can't remember who it was that told me that, but has that many beats. Dude, I seriously, if an Ill-Informed track drops, I do it.
So what I'm saying is, like, and I'm not saying this to put you in a bad light, but there's always going to be certain levels of favoritism when certain artists turn up, like your Leaf Dogs or your BVAs or, your Ill-Informed and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. I mean, no one can blame you for that because them guys have put the work in, and, there's there's a ladder, and certain people just skip a few steps in it.
Yeah, I mean, again, like going back, this channel's it started off for me, right? And then I really feel like it's for us. Like I feel like I'm part of the community now, right? So I can say it's for us. And before it was for me, but now it's just like I'll never. I do it for them. So it's like when a new person does come along who I don't know, oftentimes they'll find me there. They'll say to me, "Oh, I'm in a crew with this cat or whatever," right? Then I'll know. I'll kind of think, okay, so Cracker John has brought you towards me or whatever. Then I'll kind of understand where that's coming from. And they always approach me differently too. It's they're the ones who actually try to connect with me rather than just saying, "Here's my new video," and I don't know who you are, right? And there's so many of these guys who have gone out of their way to foster a relationship. So the people who put in the work to become friends with me, of course, there's going to be a little bit of favoritism, but I'm not going to not do somebody's stuff because they haven't been nice to me. But I'm always going to do the boys.
In the beginning, when you started, you said you were doing it for you, which I get. Everything you do for you, not just you, everybody. When you start something, it's for you. But then there's that transition where it goes, wow, this is bigger than just me now. Now, at what point did you realize that? And also, just remind us, what was the first ever video that you reacted to?
It was Honor Codes by 4 Owls.
So it was amazing to be over and watch him, knowing that was the first ever thing
Yeah.
that sparked it all off.
Yeah, and that's like, to know that the video or the channel never would have existed without the Owls, and then to be standing back there with them and just talking to them and talking about the history of hip hop and talking to different shows they've done, all the shows they've done on this tour, and just talking other stuff too, right? I mean, it was surreal that, and my daughters kept saying that, like, can't believe that this is happening to you. Like, think about how crazy that is. And again, I just kind of was like, no, I don't want to think about it.
Have you sent them pictures of you with the owls and all that?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. And Verb T was the first artist to reach out to me, right? And then and that's why he was the first interview or second interview I had Verbs and Mr. Slips as my first interview, and then Verb T. And I think when I had Verb T on, people realized, okay, when Verb T gives you some time, then you kind of know. And I'm going to be over here for the High Focus 13th anniversary birthday. I'm not even gone yet. I'm already thinking about coming back. So definitely be there for that. And I met the guys from Bluntskins. I met 3 young cats, man. 2 guys and a girl that came from Holland, and they waited all day in the park just so I would come by and meet them. And they were over the moon to be there, and they took a picture with me and stuff. And they were going to the Owls show. And I tell you, the weirdest part of this whole trip was when we were backstage and we had to go front, like get out to the front. And the only way to get out to the front is to cross the stage and go down the platform. So to walk out knowing that all the people are there, and then I hear people are like, Joe, they're yelling my name, and it's just like people dab me up. It's like, it feels so strange. Like it took me a little bit even after the Owls started, it took me a minute to get comfortable.
You've been taken out of your little room where you're doing the reactions to now being right in the middle of it all. It's a lot to take in. I mean, I'm just going to say something here. If I was still an artist, what I always did as an artist, I always tried to get crowd reactions and get the crowd active and whatever. Now, if I saw that you were there and you'd made all this effort to come down, I would have had everyone chanting your name. CDR, CD. And you would have seen it. Camera would have been angled there with like however many people are there, 600, 700, 1,000. CDR, CDR. It would have to be done.
Man, yeah.
Bro, and you know what I would do? There's something like, for me, it was kind of like standard procedure. Yeah? You would have to get up on that stage and do a stage dive.
Actually, that was my biggest fear, to be honest, was if I had to go on stage with them, that was like, I was,
But you were backstage, right?
yeah, but I mean, I didn't want to be the center of attention. I didn't want to be brought up and.
So you're backstage now, and 4 hours is on stage performing. Did you at any point feel like just looking at the crowd and going, fuck you all, I'm here, fuck you?
No, man, not at all. I loved, the funny thing is that there was a lot of, because I didn't get to stay backstage while they had their concert.
Okay.
Yeah, I came out before.
Okay. So you watched the concert from the crowd?
From the crowd,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. But when it's after they announced that I was there, then people started recognizing me. The people saying, I thought that was you, but I wasn't too sure. But it was just cool to be among that. And I wish everybody had the opportunity, right? Because I think sometimes we put, it's easy to see someone that we look up to as an artist and not see them as real people. So I would love that every single person would have the opportunity just to know who they are, because they're so cool, man.
But you created that opportunity for yourself, though. Even if you didn't realize that you were doing it. You know what I mean? You put yourself in that environment. You've basically done good things. Do you know what I mean? And people are always going to appreciate that and remember you for that. So I think now, whenever you come into the UK, and I'm saying UK because that's your focal point. Yeah. Whenever you come into the UK, bro, you never have to pay a hotel fee. You never have to pay travel expenses. You probably won't have to pay for your own food. People will always be there reaching out and saying, yo, come to mine, blah, blah, blah.
Every single artist that I talked to said, I don't have a spot, but I'll get you a spot, or you can stay at my place, you can crash on my couch, like everybody.
That's what I'm saying. You've done that for yourself, you know what I mean? So unless you go and kind of fuck that up by giving ill-informed a bad review.
Yeah.
But that I think that door is always open now. And you know, you've already said here that you're planning on coming back next year. So I think instead of, I think you know what, do something, right?
Okay.
Say to everybody, and if you're not going to do it, I might do it. I'm going to say to everybody, CDR is coming over next year. Let's all raise the money for his flights.
No, man.
But I'm saying, bro, that is how confident I am to say that they will do it. Everyone will chip in their $5, the $10, whatever, and you won't even have to pay for your own flights. That's how confident I am, bro.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is how important what you're doing is to these people. Like, and when I say these people, I'm not saying in a pedantic way. It's like these people, everybody, me included. You know what I mean? Like, it all goes hand in hand. What's been the highlight for you?
No, I mean, I was recognized at the show, and then I was recognized on the way here. It's funny because I jokingly said to my buddy Jake a couple times, it's like, I can't believe nobody's recognized me yet. This is a joke. But yeah, to see it, to be recognized, that was cool. But it's so hard, man, because it's like, you know, like I said, Leaf Dog's my boy. I always, to think that he put his arm around me and say, I did this for you.
That's big.
Was huge, right? Sitting in Rez's studio, listening to a track that no one else has heard, like him saying, like, I've never let anyone hear this before, and listening to a track where him and Up Front are coming in and out every 4 bars, boom, boom, boom.
You missed the trick there, bro.
Why is that? Should have recorded it?
No, you should have done a reaction while they're doing that live. You know what I mean?
Oh man, and like sitting down, you know, just being friends. Like, we weren't even talking about music. Like, we're sitting down at a pub, just being friends, right? So I got to say, what that is, man, it's just the people. The people have been the highlight.
So what town or what city has been the most exciting for you?
Bristol, I'd say. I was a big fan of Bristol. Manny was beautiful. And obviously saw the owls there, but something about Bristol, man. It's just, the city was beautiful, so colorful, so much graffiti, so much art. The murals on the side of the walls on some of these houses were just remarkable.
I remember doing shows there 3.5 decades ago, or 3 decades, 32 years ago, and they were there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So, you know, that city has offered so much to the music culture. You know what I mean? Like, there's been so much coming out of there. And it's amazing how many, like, I mean, if this was America, yeah, and Bristol was bigger than what it is, they could literally survive off of what they're doing within their own city.
Right.
the art that comes from there. Not just in terms of the musical side of it, but like actual art, you know, anything creative, you know, whether they're poets or singers or rappers or comedians, or it's just ridiculous. There's so much talent there.
100%. Yeah, it is a vibrant. You can feel it. And I noticed it getting off the train immediately in London. Not that London's a bad city. I'm not saying that. You could just feel the difference, the energy. And I know it's a bustling. Everyone's moving quick and doing their thing, but you could feel the energy was different. And even my buddy said, nobody's smiling, nobody's happy, right? In Bristol, it almost felt like home. Like I could be here, and if I moved there, I'd be happy. Like I could live there, no problem.
You think your age has got something to do with it as well? Like if you were younger, would London be the right place for you?
That could be, yeah. Because I know my girls, they would want to come to London. Like when we come next year, they'll want to come to London, which I'll take them to London, of course. But I don't think I'll bring my girls. It'll just be me and Vanessa. Me and Vanessa will come. But yeah, man, she's got to see it. As soon as we were in Bristol, it's like I got to bring her here. She'd just love it. So
I can imagine how happy she must be, because you know, for watching you doing all these things and then all of a sudden you're right in the middle of it. It's like I'm wondering if your expectations and your reactions to everything is bigger, or whether hers is. Like, is she happier for you than you are for yourself?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very much into, like she said to me, like, you manifested this, you did this, like you brought this on, right? So yeah, it's crazy.
Is there anything that you've missed out?
As I was talking, I've been trying to remember people. There's so many people who wanted to meet, and things like Rez, right? Like, I mean, I thought it was going to be an hour with Rez, and it became a 9-hour thing, right? Like, it's like you just do that. You're not going to leave Rez. You know, you're hanging out with those boys. You're just
and plus on top of that, he does that MMA stuff now, so he'd have fucked you up, innit? I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking, Rez.
It's funny. You can tell him anytime there was any break in the conversation, he starts shadowboxing.
Really?
You know, like him and Rogue were going at it on the sidewalk and stuff. It was great.
Oh, does Rogue do this stuff as well?
I think maybe he wants to, or maybe they're just taking the piss out of each other. But yeah, it was.
I've seen what Rez is doing. It's wicked, man.
Oh yeah,
it's like he's elevated. Like I saw from when he was starting. I think it was about a year or so ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't know exactly when. So I may have missed some of it, but then I started watching, and whenever he puts posts up, I'm always watching. You know what I mean, it's good, man. He's good.
Yeah, it's good that he's doing that, man. But yeah, I wish I could have met every single person I wanted to. And that's like subscribers and artists, and there are just some people I just couldn't, and I hate that I couldn't. But like I said, I'll be back. I definitely, I'm not going to stop. It's going to just get bigger, man. Keep pushing it the best I can. Hopefully next year it'll be even bigger, and everyone else will be better off for it. Hopefully.
Well, you know what? Just carry on doing what you're doing, because it's beautiful. I don't think anyone else could have done a better job, and I'm looking forward to the growth, because I think we've done the interview previously, and I said that I can see this going into big places, and look, the way I look at it is the scene is fairly small. It's kind of insular. Everyone knows each other and whatever, yeah. But it's things like what we're doing and what other people are doing, whether it's an online radio station or whatever. It's all these little things that helps the growth of what's going on. And if there isn't a scene, then our job is to carry on doing what we're doing to grow that scene, to build a scene.
Right.
And then, do you know what I'm saying? Like, create opportunities. Next minute, when you come over next time, there'll be a show every night. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like, here's a 4-hour show, it'll be like, here's 4 hours, here's Cashmere, here's Joker Star, here's Got Status, here's this guy, here's Phoenix. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'll be spoiled for choice, bro. You'll have to start traveling to 3-4 shows a night. That's what we have to build. Right. That's what we have to build, you know? But anyway, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you to everybody. This has been life-changing, and I appreciate and love each and every one of y'all.
I mean, I've been speaking to CDR for a while now, probably about a year or so, maybe slightly less. But anyway, we've been speaking for a while, and I love what he's doing, and I've already interviewed him. And when I found that he was coming over to the UK, he messaged me and let me know he was coming over. So obviously I had to meet him. I was planning on going to one of the shows, but then I decided, you know what, fuck that, man. Get him in here. Because this is like, you know, this is kind of making a statement, really. You know what I mean? So I was so grateful that he's made the journey. He's here. And what can I say? Like, I'm over the moon. Like, what, you know, such a good dude. And you can feel his presence whenever he does his reactions. Everything is genuine. And, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes the faces he pulls and everything just says it all, you know? But anyway, I've said my piece here. I'm grateful that you're here. But can I ask one favor?
Sure.
Can you talk us out of this interview? As in, do your usual finishing touches. Right. The only way a Canadian dad would do.
Now it's not coming to my head. What the hell do I say? Take a week off, it goes to shit.
Put him on the spot.
I appreciate each and every one of y'all cats. Thanks for stopping by. I love you, seriously. And until next time, stay safe and be good to each other. Love you, bro.
Wicked. Excellent.
I honestly couldn't remember what the hell I said.